Welcome to McMinnville, the heart of Oregon's wine country. And while we had hoped to start this episode off with some amazing wine tasting, instead we're going to be starting it off with a bunch of repairs. And one missing cat. So they say things happen in threes, and our refrigerator is beeping and giving us a code. And Mr. Fix-It is trying to figure out what the problem is.
I'm doing the magnet trick. If you look on YouTube, there's a bunch of guys talking about when you pull this L10P code, you go to your back panel and you put a magnet right by the blinking red light, which I have done, and it is not working. So we're going to go to steps 2, and that's call somebody.
And the AC in the front of the house has decided it doesn't want to work, and it is currently 80 degrees in here.
Did you try turning it on again?
I did. And Phantom has decided that the best place to have fun is in the garage, and now he won't come out, and he is stuck somewhere in the underbelly. Not a whole lot we can do about that one, but you know, it comes in threes. So there you go. We'll keep you posted. Okay, so here's a quick update on things. First, the good news. After 6 hours of spending all the time in there, Phantom came out on his own, so both cats are accounted for. The bad news. We discovered that one of our 6-volt batteries was not charging. So quick trip to Walmart, bought a 12-volt battery, put that in, Bluetooth fuses on our converter. So now Jim is back out to, I think, O'Reilly Parts or something, to get 2 new fuses. So at the moment, our refrigerator isn't beeping because it has no power, and our AC isn't working because we have no power for that either. So at least we've got the cat back, and hopefully everything else will be fixed as soon as, oh, speak of the devil, there he is. As soon as we get the new fuses back in. So we'll keep you posted. Okay, so it's 8 p.m. and here's a quick recap. The new 12-volt battery had the red and the black were labeled incorrectly. So when we wired it up, that's what blew the fuses on the inverter. Once we figured out that problem and put in more new fuses, everything started working. So the AC is on, the battery isn't beeping on the fridge anymore, and he used the magnet trick.
I did.
Make that first.
Thanks to the YouTube contributors. There's a little trick about taking a strong magnet and holding it by that beeping sensor. It's a red light that flashes, and somehow the magnet flips it off, and it worked. But I'll tell you what, I thought it was batteries all along, which it was. What really screwed up, did you tell them what happened?
Yep, the red and the black were backwards.
Oh my God, I cannot believe that. But so I was able to fix a 40 amp fuse of blue by shaving off a little tip of one of the ones that blew and putting it in the gap of where it blew. And that's just to get us through the night. Tomorrow we're going to get new fuses and put in the actual real fuses.
Always have extra fuses on hand. So I ordered a pack of 150 of all different sizes, and they'll be here tomorrow in the Amazon locker.
Oh, this was a long day. 4 trips. Started off going on a wild goose chase for distilled water. I went to 3 places. Put almost a gallon of distilled water in the 6-volt batteries, and they just weren't charging. So I wasn't sure if they were charging, so I had to go down and buy a multimeter. And then that told me they weren't charging. So then I had to go buy a new battery. And then I put that in, and obviously the colors were changed. Little tip, when you buy a battery and they have the black and red caps on, make sure you see which side of the battery is a plus and what side is a minus. It's the first time that's ever happened to me, and it caused 4 fuses to blow out in the controller because the polarity was backwards. and somebody had put the black caps on the plus and the red caps on the minus. First time it's ever happened to me, and just a little tip: make sure you always check on the battery and don't just look at the colors. So anyway, the refrigerator's fixed, air conditioners are fixed.
And
everything
tomorrow
is
we
fixed.
can go wine tasting. So
We can go wine
hopefully
tasting.
We're done with our repairs for
Relief.
the weekend.
Yes, and we can rest easy tonight with the AC on. 'Cause,
Otherwise, it would not have been pretty.
yeah,
So
long
we'll
day.
catch you next time. Now that we have all the repairs behind us, hopefully, our first stop on our wine tasting adventure is the Argyle Winery, best known for their Pinot Noirs and my favorite, their sparkling wine. One must stop on your wine tasting adventure through the Willamette Valley is Willackenzie. It is just a spectacular place to visit. The grounds were absolutely stunning. The patio was delightful and the wines were simply spectacular. So when you have a chance, stop by. Last but definitely not least on our wine tasting trip was the Patricia Green Cellars. Again, absolutely spectacular. And here's a tip, we didn't know this before getting there, but they're also a distillery. So if you ask and make reservations in advance, you can also taste their whiskeys, which Jim loved.
Hi.
You guys here for a tasting?
Yep.
Awesome. Do you have a reservation?
We do. SAR, S-A-A-R.
Oh, there you are. Okay. You guys want to be inside or outside today?
Outside.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Let me get you started with a little bit of Sauv Blanc.
Okay.
This is from our
Hey, little dog.
vineyard.
Right, so now here we are at the Evergreen's Air and Space Museum, and the really cool stuff. So we go here. We are literally not 5 minutes from our campground. In fact, I'm going to do a 360, and at the end of that walkway in those trees is a campground. So it's really cool that we're able to just walk right over.
Okay, we are at the Evergreen Air and Space Museum in McMinnville, Oregon. And this is the Spruce Goose behind us. We just did a tour of the inside of it, so we'll have some pictures to share. But it flew once on November 2nd, 1947 for about a mile. It was 25 feet off the water and flew for about 30 seconds. Howard Hughes was an amazing man, and I can't believe this entire plane was made out of wood.
It is, what did they say,
Birch wood.
95%. That includes all the metal controls, the fuel tanks, everything. 95% of this plane is spruce. And then the other 5%, or not, was it 5 or 10, something like that. Just like at least 90% all wood. The other 10% is metal. And it is just jaw-dropping when you go in there. Absolutely an incredible thing. And this whole museum is just fascinating, all the different planes. We did not expect it to be quite as overwhelming as it was. We wish we'd devoted more time to it. We're gonna have to take off in a little bit, but this was definitely worth it. If you're anywhere near the greater Portland, Salem area,
it's worth the trip.
it's worth the
You've got
trip.
to come.
Actually, you should come to McMinnville and go to the wineries.
Yes. We'll get more into that later.
Yes,
But
this is...
come to the Air and Space Museum. It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. And it is, if you stay at Old Stone Village RV Park, the walk is 3 minutes. It's just wonderful.
The Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum features an extensive collection of historic aircraft, spacecraft, and aviation artifacts. Visitors can explore exhibits ranging from early aviation pioneers to modern space exploration, including rockets, military aircraft, and interactive displays. The museum also offers educational programs and immersive experience, making it a must visit for anyone interested in the marvels of flight and the exploration of space. Join us as we explore the breathtaking beauty of Multnomah Falls in one of Oregon's most iconic natural wonders. Nestled in the Columbia River Gorge, this majestic waterfall plunges 620 feet in 2 tiers, creating a mesmerizing sight. Multnomah Falls is probably one of the most photographed waterfalls, at least on the West Coast, if not in the United States. Parking is very limited there, and I believe they do now require timed entry if you want to come in between Memorial Day and Labor Day, so definitely plan ahead. The Timberline Lodge is a National Historic Landmark nestled on the slopes of Mount Hood. For those of you who watch The Shining, the exterior of this hotel should look quite familiar to you, although the inside for the movies were actually not shot in the hallways.
Come on.
The lodge is quaint and rustic and definitely worth checking out, even if you're not going to stay there. And more importantly, head up to the Raven's Nest and don't forget to get the hot chocolate. By far, the most amazing hot chocolate I've ever had. Astoria, Oregon was the last stop on our Oregon tour. We stopped at the Astoria column and hiked the 164 stairs all the way to the top. The 360-degree views are absolutely stunning, and we were there, fortunately, on a pretty clear day. But just be prepared, bring a jacket. It is amazingly windy up there. Okay, we are at the Bowie Beer Company
Restaurant
in Astoria, Oregon. Let's try that again. We're at the Bowie Beer Company in Astoria, Oregon, getting supposedly the best clam chowder in Astoria. We'll let you know.
That's what they said, just like the world's greatest coffee in Elf.